This portion of Lee Pitts Live is brought to you by Hodges University, educating the leaders of our community for over 20 years.
Welcome back, Southwest Florida. I know all the people down there at Bethel AME Church on this Sunday morning tuned in to see your pastor. Did he make it to the studio on time? It's daylight saving time. Did he get up early enough? Is he going to make it back to the church today? All of those kind of questions are going to be asked because he did make it. He got up early enough on daylight saving time. So we're delighted to have here Pastor Jones of Bethel AME in Naples. Pastor Jones, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
It's good to get you here, man. Now, first of all, how's daylight saving time affecting you?
Wonderful, wonderful.
You adjust it quickly?
I love it. I love it.
You like it when you push the time forward?
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Tell us, what is and where is Bethel AME Church of Naples?
Bethel AME Church of Naples is located in Naples, Florida, at 2935 64th Street Southwest. Mm-hmm. We call ourselves the little church with the big heart because we are definitely involved in our community.
How long has Bethel AME Church in Naples been around?
Bethel been serving 54 years.
Wow.
In fact, we just celebrated our 54th church anniversary in February, on February the 9th.
Right. Now, are you've been there over a year now? Or
I'm in my second year.
Your second year. Tell us about that first year and some things you feel good about that you were able to get accomplished in Bethel.
Well, my first year, as we used to call it years ago, they smoked the pastor over and the pastor smoked them over. You get an idea of your members and who they are and what they are and what the church is about. Bethel is a church with members that love their church. They love their church and they love the Lord. Mm-hmm. And they show it by their participation in what they do around and in the community.
What makes you so passionate? I mean, what do you think makes your congregation so passionate?
Well, I'm blessed to have a lot of former school teachers, mm-hmm. former educators, and even though they are retired, they still work in the community to help to educate the younger people in the community, and they serve. And in fact, one of our members, who happened not to be an educator, but she served as the chairman of the NWC Martin Luther King Parade, Sister Diane Keys.
Okay. Now, do you want to leave the image to the public that people who go to your church are fancy, well-educated, all of them got degrees, they teachers and all of that? Is that the image you want to leave, or do you want to add some more to that, your type of people?
No, all of them does not have degrees.
All right.
But it's very seldom that you have a church with people with degrees that actually help the community and actually work in the church. Mm-hmm. In most instances, educated people kind of shy away from the church, and they usually spend their time outside the church being paid for their service.
Do you think that the education itself, as one grows up and get an education, that education, many of them were involved in the church. Their parents raised them in the church, but as they got off in college and different things, they start swaying away from the church. Is there anything about an education that makes people forget about the Lord?
Well, in some instance, what happens is that people trust God up until they get to a point in life where they think they have it made. Mm-hmm. And once they think they have it made, they have a tendency to forget about where God has allowed them to come from, mm-hmm. and they think they made it on their own. Years ago, they had a phrase called, "I pulled myself up by my bootstrap," but there is no such thing. Somebody had to help you along the way, mm-hmm. and the only way that person helped you is that God instilled in someone to help you out of a situation.
Okay. Now, what times are your church services throughout the week?
On Sunday, 11 a.m. is our worship service. At 9:30, we have Sunday school. At 6 p.m. on Wednesday, we have our Bible study.
Mm-hmm. When people come to visit Bethel AME in Naples, and of course, people are seeing you all over Southwest Florida in 7 different counties now, about 700,000 households. If they come and visit you at Bethel AME Church in Naples, what can they expect on a typical Sunday? What kind of worshiping process?
on a typical Sunday, they can expect to find a church in high worship. When I say high worship, is that everything is centered around God. It's all about God. It's all about Jesus Christ. It's all about giving your life to Christ.
Mm-hmm. How should they dress?
Well, we're not particular about the way they dress, but I think that whenever you come to worship, you should dress in a respectable way. Mm-hmm. You're going to worship God. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't go to a wedding with blue jeans on.
Right. So you like them to just kind of dress appropriate for
appropriate for the church service.
Okay. You got a men's day service coming up. When is that men's day service, and who's going to be your speaker?
All right, we got a men's day service coming up. We got a men's day service coming up on March the 30th. Uh-huh. Our 11 a.m. speaker is that fantastic, that fabulous, the erudite, Mr. Lee Pitts.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I'm scheduled to speak at your church
at 11 a.m.
Oh man, I got to put
Sunday,
that on my
March
calendar.
30th.
Okay, thanks for letting me know, man. I got to put that on my calendar.
Put that on your calendar. And at 4 p.m., the Reverend James Givens from Mount Olive AME Church in Fort Myers will be our guest.
Okay, so I'll have the 11 p.m. and Pastor Givens will come after me and just knock me out the park.
Well, I don't know about that, okay. But him and his congregation will be there.
Yeah, he's a good pastor.
He's a very good pastor.
I'm shouting you out, Pastor Givens at Mount Olive AME.
Yeah. My classmate. We got ordained together.
All right, that's great. The youths in our community, me and you've had some conversations off TV. You seem to be very passionate about making sure our youths come up in the right way. Talk to the parents and talk to the kids right now as it relates to the Bible and how you see the Bible influencing the development of our children.
The Bible teaches that you should train up a child in the way in which he should go. Now, in our society now, we have a problem in that in most families, the children raise the parents instead of the parents raising the children. If I may refer back, when I was coming up, it wasn't a question about whether you were going to church or whether you were going to Sunday school or whether you were going to school. It's just something that you did. But nowadays, the children dictate to the parents what they're going to do. Well, Mama, I'm not going to church today. I'm not going to Sunday school today. Okay, baby, you stay home. And that's part of the problem in our family. I know people don't want to hear that, but
right. That's old school. I remember my mom was the same way, though.
Yeah.
As long as you're living in this house, you're going to church.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And I'm so glad it was like that. At the time, I wasn't, but I wanted to stay home and watch football and stuff like that. But I'm glad I got that foundation. Go ahead.
I would offer to say was I'm glad that my parent made me go to church. I really am, because it made me a better person. It really made me a better person. And it gave you a respect for people. And that's something that our young people does not have. When I was coming up years ago, you respected your elder. But nowadays, they rob elders, they knock them in the head, they break in the house, they steal from them, they swindle them. You know, they do all kinds of things to elders. And we should be in the business of taking care of our elderly.
Right. One final question. When you look at Bethel AME Church now under your leadership, 5 years from now, what are some things you hope to see have happen at Bethel AME and Naples that would say to you, job well done?
5 years from now, I would love to see Bethel AME Church have a computer program, whereas our young people can leave school and come to the church free of charge to learn about computers and upgrade themselves in the technology age, because in the technology age. But what happens is that a lot of families do not have computers in their homes. And I think that in years to come, it's going to be mandatory. If you do not know how to work a computer, you're going to be lost.
And the good thing about it is you old school in the sense of from your generation, there was no computers. But you on the computer all the time, because me and you go back and forth on computers. Just it's second date. But I did teach you how to use YouTube.
Yeah, you did do that now.
But now you up on YouTube,
I'm
right?
up on YouTube. Yeah. Now I can think that years ago when I was coming to school, the slide rule was a thing. You know, but the slide rule now is adequate.
Right. So the church should be involved in that
Correct,
process.
definitely.
Okay. Well, Pastor, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
It's been a pleasure being here.
And I'm looking forward to getting you back in the future. Okay.
And one more thing, remember, Bethel is the big church with the little heart.
All right.
And in Jesus Christ of Nazareth, for Bethel AME Church Naples, the best is yet to come.
All right, man. You couldn't have said it better myself. So as the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Pastor Jones and all the fine people down there at Bethel AME Church in Naples. I'll see y'all in the near future who are doing it.